How's it going, guys? Anxious Cynic back again with another Mine-imator tutorial. And today we're going to be working on trying to create a walk cycle / maybe a run cycle. I'm going to see if I can do both of them in one video. I've actually been dealing with some kind of weird sinus thing this week and stuff, so I'm not really feeling up to par today, but we're going to try and do it so I can have this out this week for you guys. So what we're going to do is start from scratch here. As you can see, I've set up a scene. It's just a basic, thing so we can see everything that's going on. We have the render view down here so you can see, a little bit prettier picture with the lighting. But we're going to start off animating our Steve here, and we're going to go ahead and set up his legs for the first little bit. So what we're going to do is zoom in on our timeline here and get our initial points, our keyframes set up, because we don't want to have him just immediately start with his legs out. We want to have him go from something. Anyway, let's see here. So the timing of a walk cycle really depends on how you want it to go. I'm just going to try to do a basic, just casual walk. If you watch my old walk cycle video, then you may have some idea what I might be going for here. Let's just try about -30. And this one will be positive. Let's go with 15. It's not too bad. And then we're going to bend it a little bit. Something like that. That doesn't look too terrible. It almost kind of looks like this other leg is out a little too far based on the camera's view. Let's bring it in just a tad then. Let's try -25. Well, -22. Yeah, 22 looks pretty casual. You would even want to go into 20. Once again, I'm just going to try to set it up a basic way, and we'll see how it goes. But, for your own walk cycle, you may want it to be a little bit different. So that is entirely up to you. So we're going to go ahead and skip over to frame 11 here. And what we're going to try to do is reverse these positions. So this one's -22 and this one's 15. So we're going to make this one -22. Whoa! I accidentally hit the one key there. All right. And then this one will be +15. And what is the bend we have on this? Let's just make it an even 33, except for this one is going to be at 0. Here we go. -33 or +33. And let's go ahead and change this one so that it's uniform. I'm just going to use even numbers. Generally, for a walk cycle, you may not always want it to be 100% the same both ways. You may want to go and randomize it a little bit so that it doesn't look too rigid. But, we're just going to use even numbers for this one and see how things turn out. So we want to go about halfway on our leg that is bent here. That one should be okay. And we want to have it remain bent halfway through. And we want this other one to probably stay straight. Let's try this. And we're going to go ahead and bend this one back. What was our number here? 30 something, 33. Let's go ahead and have it remain at, let's say, 23. Let's have it go like that. All right, that is really fast. We may want to slow that down. But let's see. It goes like this. Brings it up. All right, we actually want that to bend more. So this is our bent one. Let's go ahead and have it. Let's actually have it come up even more bent. Yeah, I think that's a little better. Something like that. And then that one stays like that. So we basically have one step here, and it's playing really fast. So what we want to do is drag out these points. We want them to walk a little bit slower. So let's try bringing it out somewhere. If we go from 10, let's just say it takes 10 frames total. Something like that, maybe. Bring this in. Let's make it just an even That doesn't look too bad. We'll go with that and we'll see what our timing looks like. So what we have here is basically he goes from a standstill to going out with his right leg. And then we come out with the left leg. So what we want to do is repeat this, but replace the center keyframes with the ones that we want. So we're going to go up the next 5 frames. We're going to paste that. And actually we want to go 10 frames because in between these we're going to have this one. So we're going to go ahead and paste these here. Like that. And we're going to reverse them though. So we want this one to have the other one's parameters. So they're both at negative 350 and we want to reverse the bend here. So this one's gonna do that and this one's gonna do this, and hopefully once again, I'm not all here right now, so let's hope that we got that. It's not too bad. It's a little bit rigid. We may come back to that. Like I want to work on the keyframes, but for now, it's going to be kind of hard to judge it without other things going on. So let's go ahead and start working on the arms and whatnot. So let's go ahead and scroll down our timeline here. And what we want is opposite leg, opposite arm. All right. So you want to bring the left arm forward if the right leg is going back, and vice versa. Right arm back. We're going to go ahead and just give it a nice little bend here. This one we may bend slightly. And then we're basically going to just paste these in at each interval. All right, so we have those two, and then this one we want to reverse. So what we're going to do is even our numbers out. First of all, let's go ahead and even our numbers out. And I'm going to make that negative 36 with number 8 for the bend on that side. And this will be positive 28 with, let's just go with 14 on the bend. Or maybe 13. Something like that. He's not walking too fast. All right, so we've got that position, and now we want to reverse them for these. So this one is going to have the opposites, positive 28, negative 36. So this one's going to go 28, negative 36. And we also want to reverse the bends. I think the other one had 8. So we're going to put this one at 8, and this one at 13. There we go. Something like that. And we're going to have to grab this one and paste it over here. If you want, like, I may be kind of speeding through this. I'm sorry. I actually probably meant to explain things a little better. But if you're missing out on any of the technique here, go back and watch my original walk cycle video, and it might explain things a little better if I'm breezing over things too much. Otherwise, just kind of pay attention to what I'm doing and you can recreate it for yourself. What I do hope to do, though, is provide a download link with this walk cycle in the video or in the description of the video. So it may not be up right when the video goes up, but check back within a few days or something at least, and there will hopefully be a download link to this walk cycle where you can just download it and try it out for yourself. All right, so everything's a little pretty rigid there, but we're gonna go with that for now. Also, we want to mess with his hips. Basically, we're gonna edit the body here. What we want to happen, let's see. I think generally when people walk, your hips are gonna twist kind of slightly with the front leg, if you will. And this will be probably -3, something like that. Let's see what that does. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and copy these, paste them. That's actually probably a little bit premature, but we'll try it. We may not want him to be completely Yeah, let's see. You may not want to be completely upright. Let's say maybe he goes forward just a tad. Let's just try 1.5. Something like that. Let's try if we make both of these 1.5. That's not too terrible. See, the question here is like, this one goes from 1.5 on that lean, and this one comes back up to 0, and then 1.5 again and 0. So the question is like, do you want him to lean forward on both? Like each time his leg comes forward, will he be coming forward? His lean be coming forward? God, I cannot explain anything today. I'm sorry. Or do you want it like this, or do you want it to lean forward both times, and then in between here is when he straightens up? That's kind of what I'm feeling might make the most sense. So let's try it. 1.5 on those, and then we're gonna create these 3 keyframes. Go 1, 2, and 3, and have them straighten up. Yeah, that looks better. That's how we want. So he's gonna kind of have that slight lean every time, and there. That's much better. Okay, so for the head, since his body twists at certain times, let's see. So this one's 3. So we would want the head. Whoa, not do that. Let's try -2. Instead of making it exactly the way that doing -3 to balance it out completely, maybe we'll go a little bit offset so that it doesn't appear too rigid, if that makes sense. If you watch my other tutorials, hopefully you'll have an idea of what I'm talking about here. There we go. That's not too bad. And let's see. Since he does lean forward at these points, we may want to select these. I think there's actually a button over here. Yeah, select all keyframes at the timeline. See, I could be using that when I want to select them all, so there is that tool there. Little tip for you. All right, so he's leaning forward a bit, so maybe we want him to kind of track back slightly. Something like that. Since it's 1.5 on the lean forward, we're going to just go -1 on the lean back for his head. And once again, if you do 1.5 and 1.5, it might just appear slightly rigid, so we want to kind of go against that rigidity. All right, so we're going to do the in-between frames and have it come back to 0. All right, notice that his head, when it comes back to 0, like when you watch him walk here, his head just kind of looks like it's floating. It's like stationary. So instead of having that come back to 0, let's select these again. And what if he just kind of tilts down? That's perhaps a bit too far. Let's try that. No. See, it needs to be somewhat subtle. What if we made it just go to 1? So 2 seems a little too much. 1 seems maybe not enough. Let's try 1.5. It's not too bad. Look at him. He looks like he's doing like the duck walk. He's dancing. All right. And perhaps on these moments when he's going forward, we're also going to edit the body a little bit more again. Let's see. Maybe he would tilt forward a bit, maybe with a little bit of a bend here. I'm trying to decide if he should go forward or backwards with that. Let's try -1. It may not make that much of a difference. Let's try a more significant bend so we can kind of see what's going on here. Let's try -5, just so we can kind of see. I kind of feel like the negative bend is actually looking a little bit better. It kind of gives him a more happy walk. Yeah, Sheev's a happy man. He keeps tilted back. He's got his nose in the air. He's happy with his life. All right, so that looks pretty good to me. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's try that. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do is copy these keyframes. I'm going to try to show you guys. Once you've created a walk cycle like this, it's just a couple of steps. Then you'll want to copy the keyframes. First of all, let's just... This isn't too bad. Let's go back to what I mentioned before, though, about the keyframes. The transitions basically are what we want to perhaps mess with. I feel like for the arm that goes back, whichever arm is back probably needs to have something going on with the keyframes there. So let's just select this kind of zigzag pattern here. So each time the arm comes back, let's try putting a let's put an ease in and out on that and see what it looks like. It's not too bad. Let's go with that for now. Once again, like all this stuff, if you download this, if I'm able to supply it, then you can change it to however you want it. You can, adjust the keyframes however you like. It's up to you. However you want Steve to walk, those keyframes can make a little bit of a difference. All right, so what we have going on here, I feel like the when the leg comes forward, it's just a little too sudden, maybe. Let's see what we can do with this. So each time the leg comes forward, it's just kind of too suddenly goes back again. Yeah, I feel like that ease in and out may actually kind of give it a slightly more realistic look. And then when the leg goes back, who knows, maybe we'll do the same thing and it'll help everything look better. This ease in and out option here is saving us. Let's make sure that we've got everything, the right one selected here. Do that. No, that does not work. All right, let's go to that one. All right, we're just gonna leave it with that for now. I think it looks pretty good for what it is. Once again, if you need to change it or want to change it for yourself, you can follow these tutorials and skip that step or whatever you want to do, whatever works for you. But as is, I think we've got a pretty functional walk cycle. Something like that. And what we're going to do now, since we have these in-between frames here, what we want to see is like this one ends with the left leg forward. This one ends with the right leg forward. So what we want to do is get the frame, these frames here. The in-between frame and the right leg forward frame. We're going to Control C and copy those. And then every 5 frames or whatever the timing of your walk cycle is, you're going to do that. And that should perpetuate it and keep it going. And then as you progress, you may not want to keep doing it in these chunks. It should work. You can probably just keep going like this. But if you do need to do more, then you just come back here and you select them again, and you can select more at that point, obviously, and you just keep copy pasting them like that. So he goes from a stationary position and he's walking. That's what Steve likes to do, man. He likes to walk. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right, so that's gonna be it for this tutorial, I think. Someone asked me to do a run cycle, and I do intend to do that. I was hoping to do them both in this one video, but based on our timing here, it looks like this ran a little bit long. So what I'll try to do is do the run cycle next. But this is the walk cycle, and I will try to provide a download link for you guys. If you use this run cycle in your video, then, let me know. Let me see what you do with it. And I'll be happy to see you guys using this in your own animations and what all you do with it and whatnot. I am repeating myself because I can't think today. That's it for me. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful to some extent, at least. And I will see you in the next video.